Hi there, welcome to my first ever video blog. My name is Darren and this is Inner Traditions Healing. Today I want to talk about something that I'm really passionate about and that I think is very empowering for people to know about if they don't know already. And that is something that is called inner body awareness. Now that's a phrase that was coined by Eckhart Tolle. The topic could also be described as feeling chi. And it's something that I've been working with for a number of years. Something I was introduced to back in 2003 when I first read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And that was really my first experience with feeling the inner energy field of the body. And it was profound to feel that, and it really transformed my life. And that was a practice that became daily for me, something I took very seriously and worked with in a number of ways, including the practice of Hatha Yoga, which I still practice to this day, and something that was quite intensified when I was living in China as an English teacher, studying martial arts there with my teacher, Kung Fu and Qigong. Now, Qigong translates as working with the Qi, and it is very much about feeling the inner body in a form of dynamic meditative poses, standing poses, and there's also an active form of Qigong which focuses more on stretching. But it was the standing poses that I was introduced to in China, and that was also a very profound experience. So I really wanted to share this notion with you today because I really feel it's vital for anyone who wants to have a healing practice in their life to amplify health and vitality on their own terms. And now what this really comes down to is being embodied. And the opposite of being embodied is, of course, disembodied. And a lot of people in our society are disembodied. And that means they're really not present in their body. They're mostly stuck in their mind. And a lot of people are feeling a lot of stress these days in modern society. And a lot of that is caused because we have so much cerebral and mental activity going on that's very disproportionate to the serenity that comes from being more in touch with the body, which is more about silencing the mind and paying attention to the field of energy that is ever pulsating in the body. Now, when I first came across Tolle's work, I remember reading The Power of Now, and I was really impressed by the fact that he intersperses a lot of his prose with a simple symbol, which he uses to basically denote when the reader is supposed to take a pause and check in with themselves and feel what he calls the inner body. Now, the inner body is really just the field of energy that is emanating, pervading within all of our cells, and it's something that actually pervades within us and around us. And scientists call it morphogenic fields, and they're electromagnetic in nature that radiate and surround us in the body almost like an orb, and quite literally actually like an orb. And I remember sitting on a couch and pausing every now and again and just checking in, and I was stunned to actually be able to feel this energy. And the more I paid attention to it, the more sensitive I could become to feeling it, to the point where I started doing full body meditations as Tolle instructed, going from the tips of my toes to the crown of my head and bringing that awareness all the way up through my body and allowing it to linger at certain areas where there's tension. And this practice really became dynamic as I started to realize that I could communicate to various parts of tension in my body, ask them to relax, ask them to release things. And this really became a joyful experience. It's quite magical. And what's really amazing is the more you pay attention to the inner body, the more it amplifies, almost like it's been yearning to communicate to you through all these years of being disembodied. And there really is a synonymous feeling of joy and serenity that comes the more you feel that inner body. And Eckhart Tolle actually says in his book that the more you get in touch with this field of energy, the more it does truly amplify itself. And that actually has a direct correlation to boosting the immune system. Now, this is very interesting. When I was living in China and I had a very disciplined Qigong practice, I was really playing with the energy field of my body quite a bit, and I'd gotten to the point where I felt fairly powerful in that practice, and there was numerous extraordinary experiences that went on with that, which I won't share now because it would really take me into too many tangents. But I do remember one specific incident that was really mind-blowing. And that was, there was one point when my roommate and I, at the time, we were throwing a Halloween party. And we were both struck by the flu pretty much 2 days before the party came. And literally on the day of the party, we were out doing some last-minute shopping preparations late morning. And we were both really feeling our immune system kind of being compromised and the illness coming. And of course, that just added to the stress, knowing we were entertaining so many people. And of course, we just didn't want to feel ill that night. And I remember just getting a thought to go directly to my room when we got home. And I put on some very nice classical music. And I just lay in my bed. And I did what I called at that time body prayers, which was just going through the body and amplifying things. And as I lay down and started to go through my body, feeling all the field of energy, so many amazing feelings started to come through me that I actually stayed there for about probably an hour and a half. And it was absolutely amazing because I could feel actually heat of the illness, of the pathogens releasing through my skin. Various areas would flush with heat. And I really had this feeling that I was gaining stamina by the minute. And by the end of it, remarkably, almost miraculously, the flu was totally gone. And by evening, I was absolutely vital. And my roommate actually succumbed more to the illness. So it just goes to show with the intent, you can really self-heal yourself and boost your immune system, feeling your inner body. Now, I am now an integrated health practitioner, and I use modalities such as Chinese medicine, primarily with sound healing. And the inner body awareness is something that I'm really trying to instill in patients and the people that I see in public when I do seminars and workshops, because I really feel it's vital, not only to boosting the immune system, but being present in your life and really having a way, an antidote for all the stress that we feel. Really, the most amazing thing about inner body awareness is you realize quite fast how much you have been disembodied and how you haven't been in your body. And you realize quite quickly that the more time you spend in your body, the less chattering goes on in your mind. And this actually renews and recoups your energy significantly, because when we're stuck in our mind with all these endless thoughts, we're actually draining energy more so than we would even with physical activity. And anyone who works a desk job, as I did at one point in my life, can attest that it makes no sense by the end of the day. We're just plugging numbers in a screen why so many of us are exhausted. And it really is because of that incessant mental chatter. Now, by checking in with the field of energy in our body, we can actually create serenity through focusing our attention away from the mind and in the body. Now, before I close this video, I just wanted to share an exercise that every one of you can do right now to feel the qi, which is what the Chinese call the vital energy in the body. And it's quite simple. Sit in a chair with your back straight, or lie on the ground or on your bed, and simply go from the tip of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. And this is something Tolle talked about in his book. And the key is to just go to as many major body parts as you can. And when you hit them, say a few words to them like relax, feel peace. And as you're doing this, imagine that your thoughts are actually radiating from your mind down to that body part and instilling that thought that you are emanating out. And as you move up, every now and again, such as when you come to the top of the legs, take a moment just to renew your attention back down the legs so that you're just reviewing all the journeying you've done thus far with your inner body. And it's remarkable. By the time you reach the top of the head, you should feel the pulsations of all the energy in your body. And I really feel this is something that can truly transform your life. I'll speak more of it on another log because there's so many more things you can go into. But thanks for listening today, and I hope you have fun feeling your qi.
I remember as a child gambling in fun, love and freedom, everything somehow a friend, and somehow I lost that whole appeared a gulf between the things which no bridge could conjoin. I wanted no longer with laughter as my guide, looking to return to that innocence where I played with life with no diffidence, yet here in the emancipation